Hello, I am Alaskan Nymph, and this is One Block Skyblock. I'm sure by now you already know how this works, but in case you don't, this is how this works. You break the block below you. The block will regenerate. This is an infinite block. It spawns more than dirt. Blocks even improve over time. Chests can also appear. Oh well. Seeds. Enlarge your platform. I will do just that. First things first is the crafting table. Now, resources are actually very precious here because they only come from this block. There are 14 phases. Each phase has a theme. The first phase is plains. And my pig dropped. Okay, well, I'm gonna expand my platform. Here, suitable mobs and blocks spawn, just like that pig. Hopefully, in the future, animals will not just fall. Although that was my fault, actually. You can have the nether and the end as phases. And here's a chest. Do we have a sapling? We do not. But I'll survive. Speaking of surviving, you'll notice I'm not doing this in hardcore. That's because I am remarkably bad at this game. That being said, now I'm 100% sure I will not die. So, you know, I could have done this in hardcore the whole time. But it's whatever. I would really like an animal companion to join me in this adventure. Save your items in chests. That is a good idea. I have some chests right here. I have dirt, seeds, and wood. This is a good start. If you fall, you will lose your items. That is how dying works, yes. Blocks like gravel falls, which means I need to get a block underneath of this as well. Place a block under the infinite block. See, that's easier said than done. Aha! Now I can place a block under the infinite block. And we have our first water. Perfect. Ready for an adventure? I don't know. Am I ready? Ooh, my first benevolent gift. A sapling! Woohoo! Oh, and a torch. This will be very, very useful. There you go. Upgrading in 4, 3, 2, 1. Phase 1, the plains. Enough flowers and trees grow here to last a lifetime. I'm gonna plant this tree. I feel like I want to say that I first saw Wadzi do this, and I loved all the progress he made. I most thoroughly enjoyed IJAMinecraft's One Block Skyblock series, and I decided I had to try it out for myself. Leather and eggs. Ooh, potential chickens. Potential chickens! Clay. Lovely. Our first pig! Hello! Please don't walk off the map. I'll make it bigger for you. This pig needs a name. I'm very bad at naming animals, though. I'm gonna need help with that. So I kept punching the block. I expanded the platform. Our tree grew. We were making lots of progress. And then we have a chicken! Hello, chicken! Chicken, you need a name as well. Now you may notice it is becoming nighttime. This will become a problem later, but not yet, so I'm going to ignore it. I continued to punch the block, and I opened a chest, and I expanded the platform all through the night. I crafted a hoe, How do you craft your hose? I got a cow. I started work on an animal pen so they don't fall off the map. Can you tell I'm so salty about that pig? I managed to get the cow and the chicken inside. I started a wheat farm and I kept punching the block. Plan here is lots of circles, like everyone else. There's no originality here allowed. We'll have different sectors dedicated to different things. We'll have crop farm, animal farm. Please get away from the edge. I want to build sort of like a castle thingy around this one block as well. I kept punching the block, because what else you gonna do? It's one block Skyblock, everybody. And then I got a sheep, which is so great. I punched down some wood. I kept on mining the block and got a pig. And then only a few minutes later, I got 2 chickens at once. Isn't this amazing? So I kept on punching the block, and I got another cow. That made 3 total. I never should have been worried in the first place. Punching the block did actually become difficult with all of the mobs in the way. I could barely reach it, and it only became more difficult when I got a second sheep. Look at this. I have so many animals. And soon enough, I had reached the end of the plains phase. Woo! Okay, benevolent gift. Want to give me some shears? No, it does not. Ooh, golden carrot though. Fancy. Well, here's the end of the plains phase, I think. And no iron.
The reason I wanted iron was because I wanted to be able to skip the night because phantoms would spawn. The reason iron allows me to skip the night is because you can make shears, to get wool, to make a bed. That was the logic I was following here. And now that I was in the underground phase, this was a good sign because I was sure there would be iron.
Reached the Stone Age. This is awesome.
As soon as I had my first 8 cobble, I made a furnace. Because with the furnace, I could smelt iron. As soon as I got iron, that is. But there we go. We have a furnace. With my newly crafted furnace, I cooked up some wood for torches, and not long after, I got iron. With the newly crafted stone pickaxe, I mined it up.
And 2. Yes.
Now that I had iron, the threat from the phantoms was gone, and the chill farming could begin.
Farewell. A mushroom?
The thing that's different and sort of scary about the underground phase is that monsters can spawn along with passive mobs. I got another mushroom, by the way. I don't know why this mushroom's in the underground. Importantly, you saw that sword I crafted a little while ago. That was to prepare for the mobs. It was still startling when I got my first 2 spiders, but I dispatched them like the expert I am. I am so good at this game. Ignore that. I definitely didn't take damage. I realized that creepers could spawn, so I built a little wall to protect my animals so I can have food in the future. Now that I knew I could handle any monsters in my way, I continued chewing through the 1 block. I was thinking about all of the materials I would need to make my islands look pretty. I wanted some stone variations to give some decorations to the center island. I wouldn't be able to use much wood or dirt or grass, you see, as they can be blown up or burned very easily. I wanted to be able to move my animals and my farms to a separate island, and this separate island would have most of the dirt that I would gain. It would have farms in the ground, and the sheep would need grass in order to regrow their wool. But in order to get the dirt back, I would have to break it. And in order to get it back when I broke it, I would need a platform underneath of this first island. I could do that, of course, by using the water bucket trick that the game showed us at the very, very beginning, but I would still need a lot of wood. So I patiently farmed wood for a very long time. And when I say patiently, I was actually extremely impatient, but I didn't complain about it. I can complain about it now, but I'm not going to. I worked out a good circle-y outline for my first island. See, look at this. It's a nice big circle. And as I was mining the 1 block for some rocky resources, I found another animal that should most definitely not be in the underground. I found rabbits. What are rabbits doing in caves? Anyway, I got them into a pen with the shift key and a carrot, and began working on the underside platform for the first island. This is extremely terrifying because at any moment you could fall out of the water stream to your death. I definitely did not want to fall with all of that wood on me. Although 5 planks is not a lot, but later when I'm holding a ton of slabs, it was terrifying. I got some ladders going so I could get up and down easily, and soon I was expanding, and then I was done. I started work on a bridge that would lead to my second island, the farming island, and made sure it looked a little bit better than everything else did at the moment by having it a mix of birch and oak wood. I began the framework for the second island. I ended up finishing about a semicircle or so. I'm not actually using a circle generator like a smart person would, I'm just counting, and so far it's been going great. With the platform done, I was able to start removing the dirt from the first island. It took a little bit, but I was patient. You know, I'm very good at this. None of it fell off the edge. Some of it did fall off the edge, but then I was able to replace it onto the new farming island. Now, most people wouldn't put it in the ground like this, but don't worry, I have a plan. I was just beginning to wonder if the game was nice enough not to spawn creepers when this happened. Yep, it's a good thing that platform is there. But no matter, that creeper had actually given me a chance to experiment with what pattern I wanted around the 1 block. I realized that if I wanted grass in my new island, I would need to get it there via this very long trail of dirt. It's a strategy used for, who knows how long, and it takes quite a while, but patience. 1 block Skyblock. We got this. I made an attempt at a safety barrier. Spoiler alert, it did not work. Along with moving grass to that other island, I started moving my farms there. I got the water to the center, doing the terrifying underneath the island trick. Planted my wheat, my carrots, and even my melons and pumpkins there. I'll get a proper farm going soon enough. And while I was at it, I decided to expand the second circle, the farming circle. I did my best to make it look as pretty as possible while I was limited to pretty much just oak and birch wood. I did okay though. It doesn't look too horrible. I also took the time to protect my animals further from creepers. I noticed that they had been taking damage when they exploded, so I moved their pen and beefed up the wall, and they stopped taking damage when the creepers exploded. I had been at this for a really long time now, and Past Nymph wanted you to know this.
Is the next day in real life. My grass has grown far, my trees are still being stubborn, and my animals are safe.
My audio quality a week ago was not nearly as good as it is now, because I got a microphone for Christmas. It is the Blue Yeti microphone, if you're curious. I had a solid plan for the pattern I wanted around the 1 block and got to work on that. I finished off my animal pens, and the center 1 block was looking very nice. I had just been absent-mindedly mining the 1 block for so long that suddenly the end of the phase was here. When did that happen? I opened the chest containing my hard-earned reward and found budding amethyst. This was great news because I now had a renewable way to get one of the prettiest blocks in the game. Phase 3 was to be the snow biome. Winter covers the land with its icy hands. Winter's icy hands also bring with it a lot of new mobs. Strays, for one, are going to be scary, but there will also be snow foxes and polar bears, neither of which will get along with the other animals I had parked there. So I decided I would need to move them. Chickens got 1 pen. There were no casualties in moving them. Yes, I did have 3 at the start. Since there was only 1 of each left, I decided the pig and the rabbit could share the cow pen. They wouldn't eat the wheat either. Eventually, I managed to get the cattle and the mushrooms into their pen too. The sheep came last. Their grass was not there yet, but it'll be there eventually. With the animals moved and the grass on its slow journey to the farming island, the only thing left to do was tidy up the central island. I broke down all of the things that were there for the animals, cut down some last trees, and put the pattern around the center block in place. And look at this crafting recipe! I always forget you can do this. It'll become helpful later on. The pattern around the center block was really just me trying to keep it from burning or exploding easily, but I didn't want it to just be cobble. And this is what it ended up looking like. I like it. It looks pretty nice. So we end episode 1 of this one block Skyblock series with one full island and half of another. This one block Skyblock series is brought to you by Gamerz Riot, and the next episode will not be out anytime soon as I will be on vacation. Thank you for joining me in my adventure, and I wish you a happy holiday.